Welcome back, everyone. I'm Tom Murphy, and this is Trinidad Now on Trinidad Times Television. Again, this is segment 3. With me is DiLisio, a newcomer to Trinidad politics, running for city council. This is our last segment, and this is about the management of the city. As a city council member, Jean, what is your role in government?
Well, I think our role is legislative. It is looking at the proposals that come from the staff and evaluating their cost-benefit analysis and asking questions. And if our questions aren't answered, then they can go back, the staff can go back and research those. Legislative is the council, and it is oversight, especially if there's an executive session, if there's an employee problem or that the mayor wants to address. I was with Sam Pick, and I had a lot of experience as a public employee, and I thought the city of Santa Fe was very intrinsic because we had a arts commission that I reported to, and then they reported to the council. So it was like a 3-step tier and the employees were left to do their job, and I think that's where the city council needs to be. The mayor is the supervisor of the employees, and we are the oversight and just give the mayor advice if we see something we think needs addressing.
Right. What relationship should council have with the city employees? For example, if an employee came to you to complain about their supervisor, how would you respond?
Well, I would tell him that I think that's an internal issue. He needs to go to his supervisor, and there's chain of command, or whatever it's called.
Right.
Now, that's what we did in the public school sector. We didn't go straight to it. We went first to the people that were giving the concerns to us, and we talked to them personally. If that couldn't be worked out personally, conflict resolution, we would go to our principal, and she would handle it. And then the school board, the union sphere also, they could go to their union reps and get legal counseling. And hopefully a solution could be found between that represents a win-win for each party.
Okay.
So I'm hopeful that that kind of conflict resolution can be maintained or at least established. It's probably already established. I don't know.
Okay. Here's kind of a broad, big question is, how do you define leadership?
Well, I think it's collaboration. I think it's working with people, getting their ideas, finding out what their needs are, making sure that they know you know their ideas, and then working together to build a bigger teepee or something, or a tent, or that's how I worked with my students. It was more on their creativity, how they worked together as a team. We had goals at the beginning. We said, if there's a dispute, please handle it individually. If you need help, we'll come in. And then the third thing is to always have the final product. I mean, it was our programs had to have a parent performance, and we had to have something that was really worked on. So working together in a disciplined fashion, that's what music has taught me, of how to bring people together and make sure each of their talents is adequately addressed, and that they promote themselves to the best of their ability.
Okay. In the charter, in the first page or two, it explains that Trinidad has a council/manager form of government. Explain that to me as if, you know, if you've studied it, what is it, if I didn't understand?
Oh, well, I hope I understand it. I think the council is there, like I said, to be in charge of making the final decision after the staff has brought forth the proposals or the projects. That's how our city council worked in Norman, that you are there to vote yay or nay for the, and you're not supposed to vote no. I understood that, and that I didn't realize that if you vote no, it doesn't count at all. I think I read that somewhere.
Right. I'm not sure. I'm following you. That's okay. Right. That's okay. Well, there are some communities. Let me interject here. Is they have a strong mayor, and the mayor really is the city manager. So, but
Okay.
we don't have that form of government. The Colorado Springs and Denver does. Pueblo has considered
Right, we
it,
have a
but
city
that means
manager.
the person that we would elect would be doing the city manager's job, which is a full-time job. So it's a little bit different.
I see.
But ours is a little bit different. So another question: do you know what executive session is?
And it's a private where no public can come into the sphere. It's related to personal issues or private issues that aren't supposed to be addressed in public.
Okay.
Based on the charter.
Okay. Something maybe to study, though, a little bit about that, because there are 7 or 8 things that you can discuss. Can't be. But what if you were in an executive session and an illegal or improper discussion or decision or discussion had taken place, what would you do?
Well, I'd hope the city attorney might be there to give legal advice. I would try
Okay.
to bring the charter and point out that maybe this is not the right way to make this decision. And if you point out something, I guess you're covering yourself to make sure that you're made known that you don't agree with that
Right.
particular.
There's been some controversy in the last few years, so I'm just going to interject this. If you get elected, please study it.
Yeah.
Please know, because there's been some times where things have happened and they shouldn't have. So, if you get elected, please do that. Last two parts. I had you read this. I'd read this with Mr. Bonato, and then I just asked Mr. Rico. You're my third interview. The referendums, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Instead of reading them and taking up time, yes or no on all of them?
I think all of them, yes. I think they're all very valid concerns that the staff has brought up about the Planning Commission and about the role of the council. Again,
Okay.
one of them is the role of the council, number 2.
Okay.
That they have the oversight ability over the planning and zoning. And the third one was the, planning, parks and recreation is one of them, and that
Right.
seems legitimate to have a 5.
So thumbs up on
Thumbs
all,
up on all
on
5.
all 4.
2, 3, 4, and 5, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So far.
Last part. This camera over here is on you, and as I said to the other 2 people that I've interviewed, whether you take 30 seconds or 30 minutes, this is your time to look at the camera and talk to the people that are going to be voting. We've covered, your background, talked about economic development and management. Whatever you want to say to the voters, however long it takes, this is your time, and let me switch the camera to you, and you are on.
Well, I'd like you to take a look at the top of my chart, of my sign. I'm the voice of the people. I feel I've really been involved with education in this county. I've really studied the school situation here, and I would like to promote the Trinidad Junior College and the Trinidad High School, Trinidad Public School number 1, the first one in the state, to consider every student getting concurrent education credits, that we study the STEAM, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math concept to recruit businesses and better train our students to be ready for the workforce. I'd like to get the renovation for a lot of our historical buildings that are our schools, especially the junior high, which was a wrap and wrap building, and other buildings, if we could study different ways of financing that and matching the state of Colorado marijuana tax to fund those particular capital improvements and safety issues for our schools. I'm coming from the back forward, and I'm looking at the convention and tourism promotion strategies. I'd like to be more a part of that, as we have developed a regional promotional tool for businesses to be more successful. I'd like to look at the long-range annexation plans of our area, and trying to find out the problems with our current water loss, trying to find out how much phased growth this community could take. I think strategic planning is necessary. Some communities call it phased growth, which is more planned and based on our water availability, our sewer, and our street repair, and our transportation needs. And I'd like to recruit and retain multiple types of businesses, not just focus on one industry, and evolve a little more economic diversification through the use of our staff and our city workers. I think the most important part of our city workers is finding out the details of that employee wage study. We take pictures of the cops every year at Labor Day, and that's one of their concerns, is that they're not retaining the people they bring here, not just the cops. We want to retain all of our employees. What is the wage needs that they need to be competitive with other cities, especially since we're growing so fast and we're appealing to quite a gamut of people. Our schools, again, need to be prioritized as their improvement increases. And our water sewer infrastructure that was started downtown in the historic area, I think, needs to be phased into other areas. Our curb and gutter, I have a street that I'd like to put up for the list near me. And the downtown parking, I know I'll look into that parking study, and public transportation. So I think those are my three platforms, and since I'm an educator for 25 years and have enjoyed working with our students from out of town, having them come and work for us in town, it's been a very enlightening experience, seeing what they like when they come back, seeing what they do when they come back, and how much they appreciate the the, the traditional values that our community has given them. And I'm very proud of our son and daughter for helping us do our magazine, and my husband for supporting me in this venture. And even if I don't make the council, I'll hope to make some of the committees if I can and be more active in the boards. And I guess that's all I can say for today. I just am thankful for my health and my friend here, Tom Murphy, because we worked together 10 years ago, and it's great to come back and visit again and be encouraging to learn more. And I hope I can study through your experiences. And I thank the city for really generating a lot of energy with the staff. They are very, I've worked with Tara Marshall and quite a few of the staff. Audra, just so professional and so willing to help anybody in the billing areas, always willing to help other people. And I hope we can work a lot with the county to encourage their growth and their development and their safety, especially the safety and the public affair, what was the public officer?
Public safety
officers.
Right,
and
right.
all. Okay, so I hope that you can, if you have any questions, you can call me at 209-550-1985 or my email, DiLisio@msn.com, or if you want to talk to Steve too, his email is inside the cover, Steve Wharton at New Legends Magazine. And I'm thankful for the ability to represent my father and my grandfather and my cousin Father Francis Sebastiani, and my history and long legacy here in this area. He was actually at the Ludlow Massacre.
Really?
My grandfather was with
wow. Okay.
that in 1914.
Okay.
So thankful for the history that I've learned because of the magazine, and appreciate all the community benefits that we have here.
Well, let me just say this, Jean. I'm as I explained to both mayoral candidates, I'm excited because it's nice to see people care enough to run, because it's a commitment. The one thing I'm absolutely certain of is, in my observation of politics here, is I'm usually wrong about how the results are going to go. So I wish you well, but you just don't know. I'm just glad that lots of people are running. That's a good thing, because we need good people to run, and we need some new blood at times too to help interject into the city. So thank you for that.
Well, I definitely have had fun learning more about the city, and also just finding out more about my history here, and hopefully to represent it well.
Right. Well, excellent. So I'm going to wrap it up. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tom Murphy, and this is Trinidad Now. I was with Jean DiLisio. Check us out on YouTube on Trinidad Times TV 71. Thank you for watching.